Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to have you along with us here today. We are live on YouTube, and this is Newsflash, everyone. There is tons of stuff to get to here today. It's time for today's top story, however. As today, bottled water was flying off the supermarket shelves along Florida's Atlantic coast and South Carolina in stores across there as they prepared to evacuate more than 1 million people as the nation girded down and buckled down for Hurricane Matthew, the most powerful storm to smash through the region in almost a decade. It's going to be a huge storm. People are saying Katrina-like levels. Hurricane watch was issued Tuesday for parts of Florida as Matthew roared through the Caribbean, pounding tiny Haiti with heavy rain and powerful winds and tides. Hurricane strength winds could reach Florida midday Thursday, and the storm could linger there into Friday, the National Hurricane Center spokesman Dennis Feltgen said in a statement. Florida Governor Rick Scott warned residents to prepare for the worst, and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley did the same. She ordered an evacuation, by the way, for some coastal communities. The numbers have not been determined, but state emergency management officials said the total could exceed 1 million at this time. Yes, it is quite a big deal, this whole situation with Hurricane Matthew here. The Category 4 hurricane made landfall on Tuesday with tops to sustained winds near 145 miles per hour, causing Governor Nikki Haley to say, "This is not something we want to play with." No doubt in South Carolina and hopefully in Florida as well are taking it seriously. Hurricane and National Weather Center expert Dave Feltgen said it was too early to determine a timeline or impact for the rest of the East Coast as Matthew sweeps north. At 2 p.m. Tuesday, the storm was 65 miles east-southeast of Guantanamo Bay and was moving north at 10 miles per hour. So it is getting, there's no doubt it is getting actually quite close. A hurricane warning remained in effect for all of Haiti and portions of Cuba and the Bahamas. At least 7 deaths are already reported. Matthew is the strongest hurricane to hammer through the region since 2007 when Felix reached Category 5 with sustained winds of 160 miles an hour and killed more than 130 people, mostly in Nicaragua. That was down, of course, in Africa, so not too familiar to this region, but it still was a pretty strong recent storm. In Florida, a hurricane watch was in effect for Deerfield Beach, Florida, to the Volusia, Brevard County line in Central Florida. A tropical storm watch was in effect for the 7 Mile Bridge in the Florida Keys northward to the hurricane watch area. Long lines formed at supermarkets are forming now at supermarkets by mid-afternoon Tuesday, and the Publix in downtown Fort Lauderdale was stripped of bottled water and was running out of batteries and other hurricane supplies fast. People are buckling down, and of course, we here in the Newsflash newsroom wish them the absolute best as they, of course, wish them good luck as they try and just to stay safe as they keep buckling down, because obviously this is quite a scary situation. Today, more privacy concerns being raised as Yahoo actually secretly scanned customer emails for U.S. intelligence. Yes, they looked through your emails. If you're a Yahoo customer, they could have looked through your emails for the government. That's pretty crazy. Some surveillance experts said this represents the first case to surface of a U.S. internet company agreeing to a spy agency's demand by searching all arriving messages as opposed to examining stored messages or scanning a small number of accounts in real time. It's not known what intelligence officials were looking for, only that they wanted Yahoo to search for a set of characters that could mean a phrase in an email or an attachment, for example, radical Islam, anything around there, or maybe some sort of plans for some terrorist things. According to the two former employees, Yahoo chief executive Marissa Mayer's decision to pay The directive rolled some senior executives and led to the June 2015 departure of Chief Information Security Officer Alex Stamos, who now holds the top security job in Facebook. Yahoo is a law-abiding company and complies with the laws of the United States. The company said in a brief statement in response to the Reuters questions about the demand. Of course, Reuters had this story first here, as we are just reporting from them. Stamos did decline for an interview. The NSA referred questions to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. That declined to comment as well. So, definitely looks like quite a kind of an interesting situation here, as it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this. This is definitely a big landmark situation here, because who knows what could happen, who could be spying on who, what's going to break next. Speaking of breaks, we're going to take a quick one right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Newsflash. Thanks so much. Next on Newsflash, we have for you a full preview of this upcoming 2016 VP debate. Hear that, everyone? The newsroom is alive today as we are getting closer and closer and closer to the national anthem, I guess you could say, for the beginning of the first and only debate that is tonight. And exactly, just checking the clock here, 51 minutes. So that's it's a pretty big deal. Let's turn this TV light off here. I think that makes me a little bit more normal. What do you think? So this will be Tim Kaine's and Mike Pence obviously only debate. It may seem like an anticlimax. The two policy-oriented running mates aren't likely to produce game-changing moments or set off fireworks like Clinton or Donald Trump, or calling each other names like they did. I mean, probably not going to be the best, most exciting watch on television or whatever. But as we note in today's article previewing the debate, in the video we did that should be coming out soon previewing the debate, there are some clear policy differences between Kaine, who is for the minimum wage increase, and the Hillary Clinton and Trump and well, I'm not saying this too good. I'm gonna be honest. There are some pretty big policy differences between Hillary and Tim Kaine, which is, for those of you who don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. Hillary's running mate, and there were some pretty big differences between Donald Trump and his running mate too, saying he is pro-abortion. By the way, that's Donald Trump. He's made pro-choice comments in the past. Well, Mike Pence is supremely against women's choice. Mike Pence would rescind the Affordable Care Act known as Obamacare, while Mr. Kaine wouldn't. Mr. Pence also defended Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's proposal to build a wall, while Mr. Kaine obviously opposes it. Yeah, so there are some two major political differences here, and I think that's a very interesting scenario that we should definitely be keeping an eye on, and probably will be keeping an eye on throughout the night. Like past vice presidential debate, it could produce some memorable one-liners. I mean, hey, we are talking about the Donald Trump campaign here. Like the 1998 zinger, as I'm sure you remember, from Democratic nominee Lloyd Bentsen, who told Republican Dan Quayle, "You're no Jack Kennedy," when asked, when he said, "I've worked with Jack Kennedy, I've experienced with Jack Kennedy," and he goes, "You're no Jack Kennedy," as I'm sure you know. Or the questions asked by Ross Perot's running mate, James Stockdale, in 1992. "Who am I? Why am I here?" That's definitely pretty interesting. The face-off in 2008 between Joe Biden and Sarah Palin underscored their dramatically different resumes. Experienced Washington insider versus an outsider with little international political experience whatsoever. Those one-liners, in contrast, had little impact, however, on the election outcome. But the office of vice president has become increasingly as important. That is something that we really need to have to keep an eye on. So either way, you want to know who will be taking the vice presidential office if one of these two candidates win? Well, you have to be keeping an eye on this debate tonight. Alright, so we have a lot more to get you covered on the debate, including what some of the biggest pundits, both liberal and conservative, are saying. We'll do one right-leaning tweet and one more left-leaning tweet, one by one, and that will be coming up right after this. This is Newsroom live on YouTube.